Okay guys, what we're going to look at now is 5.4, which is cross sections. Now this is a little bit harder for me to explain on the computer, but we will do our best. All right, so what we want you to do here is draw the cross sections of a 3D shape. Now the cross section just means the surface that you see if you make a cut. Okay, so if we cut it, what does the shape now look like? These are, as I said, these are a little bit harder to do on the computer, but we should be okay. All right, I'm going to use straight lines with my pen, but basically what I've done is I've taken the picture out of the textbook and I've removed the lines. They'd already drawn some of the lines in for you, but I want to show you from scratch what it would look like. Okay, so we have here, you can see here that we have, I'll highlight it and we can erase it afterwards. We have a nice plane cut into our shape here. This is a plane, spelt P-L-A-N-E, so this is a plane. Okay, a plane is just a surface. All right, and this is a surface that we've cut. This gives us a new plane, a new flat shape. All right, now what we want to do is we want to cut a line through these other points that is parallel to this original plane. Okay, so we want to cut a plane parallel to this one, so a cross section that is parallel. Now this is not as bad as it seems. You just have to be very careful, okay? And you need to look at it afterwards and decide whether it's what it should be, whether it's what it should look like or not, okay? So you can see here, I want to draw a cross section through point B that is parallel to this original plane, okay? Now, you can see at the top here, the line that comes across the top of the surface away from A meets our other line at the front here, okay? As I said, it's a little difficult to explain online. What we want to do is we want to make a line parallel to that line here with the arrows drawn on it. So, oops, I thought I had a straight line here. So what we want is we want a line starting at B that is parallel to this A line, and you can see that looks pretty good there. Okay, that's fairly well parallel. Okay, so that's pretty parallel to the original one. You guys can do this with a ruler. Okay, so get a ruler out and rule a line, but you can do this by just moving your ruler until it meets the same spot. Okay, you can then see that this line here runs down the front of our original shape. Okay, so this line across here, this is running down just down the front of the surface and it's just going straight down. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with our line here. So we're going to run the next line just straight down. Okay, now we need to do the same thing on the bottom. So another parallel line at the bottom, parallel to this line at the bottom as well. Okay, so it's going to go, and you can see that it's going to, actually the easiest way to do this is to firstly draw our line straight down from B, okay, because you can see that we're going to have a line parallel to this one. So we want another line straight down from B, okay, and then we can just join these. Whoops, again, I've not used my straight line button. Okay, so then we can just join these two lines across the bottom here. Okay, and we've made our first plane. Okay, once you've done that, you can also color it in, and I'm going to do that here, so I'll just shade it the same color as the original. So if we shade that in, you can see that what you have is basically a plane parallel to that first one. Okay, we're going to do this again with C. Okay, so I'm going to do another one here. So make your line parallel to that first one, so parallel to this one across the top. We're going to make the same parallel line here. You can be more accurate than I can, it's a little hard on a screen. Okay, then we're going to do another one going straight down, because that's what happens to this surface at the front. It's a straight down surface. Okay, we do the same at the back. So from C straight, whoops. From C we're going straight down. Okay. And then again, the last one, just joining these two, okay? And now I can also shade that one in. Okay, and you can see this surface. These are, I know this seems a little bit strange. It's not particularly mathematical to do it this way. Okay, but the purpose of this is to allow you to see something better later. And you're going to also use this a little bit next year when you do some more work with these shapes next year. Okay, so the main thing is just getting used to finding these planes. Okay, let's do another one. So from D, again, the first thing we do is make a parallel line across the top. Okay, I think it sits about there. I'll try and put it in a better spot there. Okay, then we do our line straight down. Okay, so straight down at the back here. Oh man, I'm not getting the right one. Okay, so okay, I think it doesn't want to do it in the right spot for me, so I'll just move it across. No, I don't get a choice. It's there or there. Okay, let's do it there. All right, and then I can do the same at the front. You can see with this one, it's just following the lines of the shape, so it's not such a problem. Okay, and then joining them at the bottom. Okay, and again, I can shade that in and show that that's the next surface. You can see I'm doing these in different colors. Okay, and then E is the last one, and it's really tiny. So with E, we're just going again, same direction, same parallel line. Okay, another line going straight down. Another line going straight down here. It really doesn't like you choosing where these lines go. Yeah, these are not going to fit quite right. Okay, and then we just join them at the bottom. Let's just assume this one was okay. As I said, you guys can do it on a proper, you can do it on a piece of paper. It's a little bit easier. You can get it more accurate than I can. Okay, and then we get this last surface here. Okay, so this one was fairly easy because all the shapes were, they were all parallelograms. Okay, they all create little rectangular looking things in the end. Actually, they're not parallelograms. They just look it from here because you actually know that this angle here in the purple one, that's 90 degrees. Okay, you guys know that. So this is actually a 90-degree angle. Okay, this is also a 90-degree angle, and if you think about it, you will know this. You'll be able to see it because this is just shapes inside a rectangle. Okay, and the same for all the others. All right, so we've done that one. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. This is a little bit harder because in this shape we don't just have a nice rectangle. It's not just going parallel to the sides. It's a little bit different. So let's take a look. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make a parallel plane through point Q. Now I'm going to do this without the ruler because I want it to be a bit clearer this time. It just means that my lines won't be perfectly straight, but you guys should be using rulers for this. Okay, so what we're doing is we are going through Q and we want to make a parallel line to all of these other lines. Now you want to make firstly a line through Q that is parallel to PB. So look at PB. We want our first line through Q to be parallel to PB. So you need to draw a line that starts at Q and goes something like this. Again, use a ruler please, don't do what I'm doing. Okay, so your first line should look something like this. Use a ruler, make your lines nice and clean. Just one nice clean line like this. Okay, now our next line should be through that new point that we just created. Okay, I'm not gonna, well, should we give it a letter? Let's make it R. So this is now going to be point R. We want to make a line through point R that is parallel to BG. Okay, so you can see BG, that's that diagonal line here. We want a line through R that is parallel to BG. Again, you guys should be using a ruler here. Okay, so use a ruler, draw this nice line. It goes something like this. Okay, we'll call this point S. Okay, and then you can just make a line that joins S to Q. I'm going to see if I can do this with proper. Yeah, see, it's too small to be able to make it nice and straight for me, but you should be better at this than I am. Okay, so then you get a line like this. And now if we again shade it, you will see that what we have is a nice parallel plane QRS. So this is a parallel plane that is parallel to PBG. Okay? Now we're going to try this again. This time we're going to look at point L. So we want a parallel plane through L. We want a cross section through L that is parallel to this PGB. Okay? So for L, again, start with what we can easily see. We can easily see L being parallel to GP. So we're going to start by making that line parallel to GP. And again, use a ruler, please. Okay, so this is now going to be point M. Okay, so we've made LM. All right, once you've done LM, we can now do a line parallel to parallel to PB through M. Okay, so parallel to PB through M, that means you have a line like this. Okay, and you can see here that we actually end up cutting it off at the bottom here. Normally we would continue down here to make the triangle go down, but we're not going to do that. All right, this is where it becomes a little bit difficult because we need to work out how we're going to factor this in to our other side. Okay, so normally you would extend L, okay, and you would extend A. And we know we're going to have a triangular shape. We have to find out where this is going to be in our in the rest of our shape here. Now, what I suggest you do here is look at the distance between, let's make this point N. Look at the distance between N and B. Okay, and you need to think about what that's going to do for the rest of the shape. All right, so we want, what we're going to end up having is a line parallel, the same distance between M and P. We want the same distance on the other side between G and B parallel, on the GB side parallel. So we know we're going to have a line. We know we're going to have a line going like this. This is a little bit difficult. So we have a line like this. Okay, and then what actually happens is in the back here, we get this dotted line. Okay, we get this dotted line going across the back where this would be the extension of that triangle. Okay, so you can see we would normally have this triangle extending, but this is outside our shape, so we can't actually draw it. So we need to put these dotted lines across, okay, straight lines, again use a ruler, where our 3D plane is actually cut off by the rest of the cube. Okay, it's again very strange, I know, that's okay. All right, and I'm going to shade in. I'm only going to shade in outside of it because I don't want to show it as being in front of the pink one. Okay, and you can see here we have this nice shape here. I don't want you to stress too much about these, just make sure you can do them. Okay, have a little bit of a play. If you have been able to, then please print out the worksheet because the worksheet has more examples of this, but you can see now that I've shaded it where the gaps are. Okay, so where there is no color because it's actually fallen out of the shape. All right, this is what we want you to be able to do. This one's pretty hard, but please have a go at the other ones and see how you go with it. Okay, good luck.